So good day everyone. This is the first topic for final in Group 1, the reflection of light in mirrors. But before that, I will give you a short description about the topic. So when light falls on a highly polished surface like a mirror, most of the light is sent back into the same medium. The process is called reflection of light. Reflection is the bouncing off of light rays when it hits a surface like a plane mirror. So there are two images that will form. The real images formed in front of the mirror and is always upside down relative to the object. It can be projected on a screen placed in front of mirror. Next is the virtual image, formed behind the mirror and is upright relative to the object and cannot be projected on a screen. There, in addition, reflection is the change in direction of wave when it strikes and rebounds from a surface or the boundary between two media. Reflection can be thought of as light bouncing off a surface. We have two reflection types based on different surfaces. The smooth surface reflection, known as the specular reflection, such as the bouncing of the light from the surface of mirror, or calm body of water, or something similarly shiny and smooth, where parallel rays of light all bounces off at the same direction. Rough surface reflection, it is the reflective rays scatter in all directions. Reflection of light from a rough surface is called irregular reflection of light like rock, sand, rough wooden table, ray incident on the surface, scattered at many angles rather than at just one angle.
Okay, so to start with, let us now proceed to our proper discussion today. So first we are going to talk about what is mirror. So a mirror is a reflective surface that bounces off light, thus producing a real or virtual image, as what Ms. Noreen said a while ago. So mirror is a reflective surface that bounces off light, thus it may produce a real image or a virtual image. Okay, so now let us proceed and know what is a plane mirror is. So a plane mirror, in its word alone plane, it is a flat mirror that sends light out from itself in multiple directions. So the image formed by a plane mirror will always be the same object as the original object. So that is the image that forms in using the plane mirror or the reflection of plane mirror. The object will be the same size as the original object, or the object that can be seen by our naked eye in the mirror will always be the same size as the original object. Okay, so in addition for the plane mirror, let us know that a plane mirror is a mirror with a flat surface. It means plane. It has a flat reflected surface, and then for the light rays that striking a plane mirror, the angle of reflection is equal to the angles of incidence. That is why the image or the object's image on the plane mirror is equal size to the original object's image. So that is why, because the angle of reflection is equal to the angles of incidence. So furthermore, we will know about what is the angle of incidence. Okay, so we have another illustration here, no? So what we can see here is the eye of the observer, just like for example the eye of the observer, and here in the middle is the plane mirror. So this ray here is what we call the incident ray, and this ray here is what we call the reflective ray, the reflected or the reflected ray. So the incident ray is a ray of light that falls on any surface. So if the surface is polished or smooth, then the incident ray bounces back to the surroundings. That is what we call the smooth surface reflection. Meanwhile, the reflective ray is the ray of light that is sent back after reflection by mirror. So the reflected rays will always goes away from the mirror. So that is what the reflective ray and the incident ray about. And now we have here our diagram B. So what we can see is the angle of incidence. So the angle of incidence here is the angle of the incidence, which is the angle that is formed between a ray incident on the surface and the line perpendicular to the surface at the point of incidence. So this is the point of incidence, and this angle that forms here is the angle of incidence. So let me first put a laser, no? So this point here is the point of incidence. So the angle formed here is what we call the angle of incidence here in diagram B. So at what we can see, this is the eye of the observer. So this is the incidence ray or the incident ray, and this is the reflective ray. Okay, so in addition for our plane mirror is virtual. It is because the image that forms and can be seen on a plane mirror is a virtual image or exact size of the original object. Second, it is erect and of the same size as the object. So it is because we can see a rigidly upright virtual image of the object of ourselves, of course. We can see an rigidly upright image of the object or of ourselves in a plane mirror. And lastly, it is laterally inverted because the reversal of mirror image where the right side of the object appears to be on the left side behind the mirror. So that is why the object on a plane mirror that we can see on our naked eye is laterally inverted. Okay, so we have here an example. So this is an example of a laterally inverted image. So this illustrates, so the original object here or position is our right hand, but in the plane mirror we can see the person here is raising his left hand on the image on the plane mirror, and another here is the ambulance. So this is an example of a laterally inverted image on a plane mirror. So that would be all for my part. So help me welcome Miss Campilan to know more about what are the two types of mirror is, which are basically the concave mirror and the convex mirror.
Now we are going to jump to the differentiation between the curved or spherical mirrors, or also known as convex or concave mirrors. Concave mirror, it bends light further away in the middle, more like the inside of a ball. How images appear depends to the proximity of objects to the mirror. So just look at here. This is the example of the concave mirror. So concave mirror is a spherical mirror which has reflecting surface dented inwards. It reflects and focuses incoming light rays at a point called the focus point, but also, depending to the distance of an object from the reflecting surfaces, different types of images are formed. Concave mirrors are also converging mirrors, since light rays converge after reflection of concave mirrors. They are used as headlights, torches, microscopes, telescopes, and in other daily life uses. Next is the convex mirror. It curves light away from its middle, like the outside portion of a ball. This type of mirror will produce only smaller and virtual images. So just look at here. This is the example of a convex mirror, the curved side of a spoon. Then convex mirror always produce images that share different characteristics. First, the location of the object does not affect the characteristic of the image. As such, characteristic of the image formed by convex mirrors are easily predictable. Another characteristic of images of objects formed by convex mirrors pertains to how a variation in object distance affect the image, distance, and size. So when convex mirrors are used, the magnification of object becomes simple. It is used in sunglasses. It is used to give a wider view in car mirrors, security cameras, regular cameras, and some microscopes. What image can be seen in convex mirror? So the image of the convex mirror is similar to the original object in some ways, but not in every way. The image is upright, vertical. It looks like it is behind the mirror and smaller than the original object.
Okay, next we have ray diagrams. So ray diagrams, which are used to determine the location, the orientation, size, and type of image formed in mirrors and lenses. So a ray diagram is a tool used by physicists to explain or predict the behavior of beams of light as they pass through objects such as glass blocks or lenses. So visible light is part of electromagnetic spectrum. So light is a transverse wave because it travels in straight lines. So when light hits an object, it can be reflected, refracted, or absorbed. So reflection is when light bounces at an object. So the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. So if the ray of light hit an object at 45 degrees, it bounces at object also at 45 degrees. So when drawing a ray diagram, the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. So the angle of incidence is the angle between the normal and incoming incident ray. So there are two important points on the object to draw a ray. So first, we have the letter C, or the center of curvature of the mirrors, and the letter F is the focal point of the mirror. So the straight line there is called the principal axis. So focal length is the distance between the focal point and the mirror. So this is, we have here an example of a ray diagram in a concave mirror. We have the ray 1 from the object to the mirror, and ray 2 from the object through the focal point of the mirror, ray 3 from the mirror to the focal point. So the distance between the image and the mirror is known as the DI. So because the light ray converge at this point, we have a real image, and the image is inverted because, as you can see, it is in the opposite direction of the object. So the object is facing up and the image is facing down. So the location of the image is between the center of the curvature and the focal point. And our O, or the object here, is inverted. Size is reduced in size, and the type of image we have is the real image. So next is ray diagram in a convex mirror. So ray 1 is the object to the mirror, and it bends down towards the focal point. Ray 2 from the object to the center of the curvature. The type of image we have is a virtual image. So the image is upright. And notice that it reduced in size. So it is a virtual image because the image is smaller than the object. So the location of our object here is behind the mirror. The O, or our object here, is upright. Size is reduced in size, and the type of object we have here, or the type of image, is a virtual image. Okay, so that would be all for our part. We had reported about the reflection of lights in mirrors, and we do hope that you had taken down important details. And if you have any queries or questions, don't hesitate to ask us through PM. Okay, so this is once again the group 1. Good day and God bless.